புஸ்தகம் எனக்கு ரொம்ப சந்தோஷம் கொடுத்தது. எனக்கு இது நானும் என் பொண்ணுமா சேர்ந்து கடைசியாக பண்ணின புஸ்தகம் வந்து இந்த புஸ்தகம் வந்து நாங்கள் முதல்ல செல்ஃப் பப்ளிஷிங்கை பற்றி என்னெல்லாம் நாங்கள் கஷ்டப்பட்டோம், எப்படி பண்ணணும் அப்படின்னு பாயிண்டர்ஸ் எல்லாம் கொடுத்து ஒரு செல்ஃப் ஹெல்ப் புக்காக எழுதுறதா ஆரம்பித்தோம். ஆனால் கடைசியில் வந்து எந்த காரியம் பண்ணினாலும் அதோடு நம்ம வந்து கொஞ்சம் ஏதாவது லேர்ன் பண்ணுவோம். நம்ம வந்து தட் இஸ் வி லேர்ன். நாங்கள் வந்து முன்னேற்றமும் ஏதோ கொஞ்சம் நடக்கிறது நம்மளுக்கு. அது மாத்திரம் இல்லை, இதுக்கு பாதி வழியில் என் பொண்ணு இறந்து போயிட்டா. ஸோ எனக்கு வந்து என் பொண்ணு போனால் நான் என்ன பண்ணுவேன் அப்படிங்கிற ஒரு துக்கத்தில் இருந்தப்போ நானும் அவளும் பண்ணிட்டு அந்த புஸ்தகத்தை நான் முடித்தேன்னாக்க தான் எனக்கு வந்து மன திருப்தி வரும் அப்படிங்கிற எண்ணத்தோடு எழுதின புஸ்தகம். அதனால் இதில் வந்து செல்ஃப் ஹெல்ப் மாத்திரம் இல்லை, ஸ்டோரி ஆஃப் அவர் லைஃப்ஸும் சேர்ந்து வந்து.
Hi everyone. I was grandly telling my son Arun, no da, I'm not scared of standing in front of people and talking. But now I'm not so sure. But I know that like me, Aparna is also feeling very happy that we're all here together. And writing of this book was one of the last joyful projects that we both did together. Now SEETHA was talking about our relationship to her. As soon as Aparna came back from the so-called interview with SEETHA, she came and said, "Amma, guess what? I've been offered a job." And so I said, "Wow, great." So she says, I told the editor that I'm a buy one get one free person. So I said, meaning what? She said that she told her that if I come for work, my mother also will come for free. So that is how I ended up working along with Aparna on the comic magazine, and it was the most great, fun, happy thing that we did one of the many great happy things that we did together, the comic magazine. And like SEETHA says, we found a really delightful and lovely friend in SEETHA. Thank you, SEETHA. So now I was a little scared that SRIRAM may say all the things that I have planned to say. Fortunately though, he said that I had quoted so and so and so and so. He didn't tell you what the quotes are, so now I'm going to tell you what they are. Now the first thing is, we think of ourselves as authors, right? So who is an author? Now our description is that an author is one man, or in our case 2 women, who tries to conquer a series of diabolical opponents like the editor, publisher, distributor and critic to reach his target audience, the reader. Okay, and the editor is a person who, in the pretext of setting your book right, converts it into an unidentifiable entity. Of course, George Bernard Shaw said, "The road to ignorance is paved with good editors." Now, when you talk about a publisher, there's this anonymous author who said that if Moses were to come down the mountain now, he would be with the 10 commandments, he would be spending the next 5 years of his life searching for a publisher. Okay, and when you asking now, there's this Christopher Hampton who said that asking a writer, working writer, what he thinks of a critic is like asking a lamppost what it thinks of a dog. And there's this guy who said that if the English language made any sense, the word lackadaisical should have something to do with the shortage of flowers. So being able to put your work in print and making a print on demand copy, even a handful of them, shows publishers and editors that you can follow through and finish a project that you wanted to do. So, and that is what we did. With my first 2 books, Nostalgia and My Love Good Lodge, we self-published them. So like SRIRAM said, when I say self-published them, we did it all ourselves. We had one problem after the other, we just overcame those and we did everything ourselves. Now my daughter Kritika, who's standing over there, refers to the two of us as Twiddledee and Twiddledum. Since we spent so much time working and just being together, we behaved like two identically wired robots, you could say. So, wondering what to do next, we both simultaneously said, let's write a book on self-publishing. After all, we have so much experience. So that was how we started writing this book. Now, at this point, I want to thank Kritika. Not only did she design the book cover, but she suggested the tagline, the self-publishing route to self-discovery. Our book was supposed to be a self-publishing book first. Now, having given us this tagline, she helped me to increase the scope of the book to its present form, which is much more than what we had planned in the beginning. This new book talks about the roller coaster ride we went through in our efforts to self-publish those two books. And this has every type of pointer on the do's and don'ts of self-publishing, on life, about ourselves, about the publishing fraternity, and I in particular went through a period of intense self-discovery. So I think SRIRAM has told you all everything else about the book. So I'll stop by saying that I hope you all enjoy reading the book as much as we did writing it. Now I have to look at Ashwin and say, Ashwin, are you going to save me now from my problem? I forgot to bring the... Yeah, there. Saved. Thank you so much. Okay, so now this is something else. Now, Aparna and it was Aparna's and my dream to start a community log for people who enjoy writing and want to share what they've written. People who just write for the joy of writing and nothing else. And so she named it Penning for Pleasure. And I started the blog after she passed away. And surprisingly, we received almost 60 entries by the time we came to the month of June. So I didn't know how to go about expanding the scope, the number of people who would contribute. So I thought maybe starting a competition would do it, and we had a competition. And funnily we got almost 20 to 22 entries. And I thought it would be a good opportunity now to announce the prizes, because some of the people who contributed were from outside Madras, some of them or their relatives are here, and we've always been supported with full force by Odyssey from the day I came to him with my first book. By the way, I might as well tell you this short story. I came there and I told him I have this book, and I have 75 rupees to give you. And he said, ma'am, we take 40%. I said, so how much is 40%? So he gave me some wild big number and I almost died on the spot. I said, oh my God, 40%? He said, all shops take 40%, ma'am. Didn't you go to a publisher? I said, no, I went, but nobody answered. Then he said, okay, yeah. And he gave me a list of people, and like SRIRAM says, you go there and they'll tell you, we'll publish you if it's your third book and things like that. All that happened. And he said, come back to me if you don't find anybody else. And he kept my books on his shelf in a very noticeable place with the 75 rupees as his commission. Hello, friends. I don't have a 60-year association with Padmini, but whatever I have planned, I think could match the 60-year association that you did. So it was wonderful to have Aparna and Padmini work for us at the Kalki group of publications. Aparna wrote, actually she first wrote a serial for Gokulam English, the magazine for children. Unfortunately, it's not in publication now. It ceased to be published now because the ends don't meet. And that speaks about a lot for the publishing industry. Well, she did so well that we thought we should take her on board, and at that time the management decided to start a new magazine called Gokulam Caliber Comics.
And Aparna came on board as a sub-editor to turn out picture stories month after month as a magazine. And mind you, it was very, very difficult work. But Padmini used to accompany her to the office quite often, and we would both sit and do the grueling work with so much of passion. And I think we produced about more than a half a dozen issues, but again, it didn't make ends meet, so it had to stop. But the brief association with Aparna and Padmini made us such good friends, and the association continued for a long time. And I too read with much admiration her nostalgia and my love for March. So I'm very happy to be here and share a very proud and a rare moment for the author. I love the title, Be the Book. I wish we could all be the book. Anyway, I have bought the book. I bought the first copy. I've set an example, I hope. I would also like to congratulate Padmini's husband Ganga, who is here and who shares her lovely sense of humor. If you have read Mylapore Lodge, you know that. Very happy to be here with SRIRAM and the rest of you, and to be a part of this wonderful Madras Week celebration. Thank you so much.